Now to the latest in the high-profile trial of George Zimmerman. The case expected to go to the jury today after the defense delivers its closing arguments. The prosecution already made its case, arguing Zimmerman is a liar and guilty of murder. ABC's Matt Gutman is in Sanford, Florida, with the latest on all this for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. That's right. This morning, it's the defense's turn. Now, I spoke to Zimmerman's attorneys overnight. They say they want their presentation to be a decidedly low-key affair. Their attorneys are going to tell the jury why they think Zimmerman acted in self-defense. They're going to do it calmly. They want theirs to be as different as possible from that theatrics-filled presentation from the prosecution.
A teenager is dead. He is dead through no fault of his own.
It was a closing statement packed with emotional punch.
Do you believe that there is an innocent man sitting over there right now?
Lead prosecutor Bernie De La Rionda animatedly laying out his case to the jurors that George Zimmerman is guilty of second-degree murder.
Why does this defendant get out of the car if he thinks that Trayvon Martin is a threat to him? Why? Why? Because he's got a gun. He's got the equalizer.
Insisting Zimmerman profiled, followed, and targeted 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
When he profiled a 17-year-old boy that had Skittles.
At times, De La Rionda getting fiery.
He automatically assumed that Trayvon Martin was a criminal.
At other times, theatrical.
Or George Zimmerman, he just kind of took it, boom, boom, just getting whacked over and over. He never did anything. Oh, he's skipping away, la la la. That's what he's claiming.
Most jurors listened intently. Some stroked their chins or nodded. But the defendant, George Zimmerman, stared straight ahead, stone-faced until this.
The man who is guilty of second-degree murder.
Some analysts say the prosecutor's closing may have been long on entertainment but short on evidence and may not have convinced jurors.
What did you make of the prosecution's closing argument?
To make your entire presentation sarcasm, I think that's a turn-off to the jurors. I think Trayvon Martin deserved more.
Zimmerman has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, saying he shot in self-defense. Later today, when jurors get the case, they will have another option in their deliberations. On Thursday, Judge Deborah Nelson allowing a prosecution motion to permit jurors to consider a lesser charge of manslaughter.
Now, right here, Robin, is the key to it all. 27 pages of the jury instruction outlining the prerequisites for second-degree murder and for manslaughter. And we should know that those prerequisites for manslaughter are significantly lower. All the jury has to believe is that Zimmerman intentionally acted, leading to Trayvon Martin's death. Robin.
Okay, Matt, thank you. We're going to bring in ABC's chief legal affairs anchor, Dan Abrams. And the prosecution did exactly what you expected them to do.
That's right. Two key issues. Emotion and inconsistencies. And emotion is really the most important one, which is they're basically saying if it weren't for the actions of George Zimmerman, then Trayvon Martin would be alive today. That's not a legal reason to convict him, but that's an emotional one. And then number two are the inconsistencies, and I think that in particular, an inconsistency with regard to how he would have gotten the gun. Prosecutors essentially saying he's not telling the truth, that at the last minute he's getting beaten up and he grabs his holster and tries to pull the gun out. They're saying that story makes no sense.
So you're saying those inconsistencies are very important?
Well, as a legal matter, they're very important because what they're hoping is that the jurors will ignore all of the statements made by George Zimmerman and basically say we don't believe any of them. But remember, Matt pointed out the difference between manslaughter and murder there. But for both manslaughter and murder, they have to overcome self-defense. George Zimmerman is saying that he reasonably feared grave bodily injury, that he was on the bottom, getting beaten by Trayvon Martin. For murder or manslaughter, prosecutors have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that's not what happened. And that's the challenge that they have.
Dramatic yesterday is going to be dramatic again, this time with the defense.
Oh, absolutely. The defense has to respond first, present its case, and then prepare for a final comment by the prosecution.
You think the jury will deliberate over the weekend?
I absolutely do. It's up to them. They're sequestered. They don't want to be there. They want to get this done with. No question they'll deliberate.
All right, Dan. Thanks very much.